captain's armband too, a big day for him. His first game since December, since recovering from hamstring trouble. Well, he'll be up against Armando Broja. Ralph Hasenhüttl wants to see a little bit more consistent form from this man, but he did punish Leeds when they met back in the autumn. This place is home. Leeds 3 times tried to sign him in 2020, but Southampton would not let him go. Ilan Meslier has recovered from that hip injury to take his place in the Leeds starting lineup here today. Hasenhüttl looking for a reaction after 3 successive Premier League defeats. And before kick-off, the moment of solidarity. No discrimination against anyone. Well, no one does drama like Leeds do drama right now. So what is next at Ellen Road? They don't do routine, they don't do straightforward these days. They are still right in the survival fight. After back-to-back wins, Leeds have breathing space and better days could be ahead.
Yeah, I think Jesse Marsh, he come in and when he initially came in, he spoke about just getting the basics into players and then building on that. And I think the international break will have given him a very, very good opportunity to work with the players that he had to really try and get those intricacies into the players and try and build on those fantastic wins.
Yeah, so important for managers and head coaches when they take over. When a season's underway, to step in and have that amount of time on the training ground that Jesse Marsh has had to try and instill his philosophy upon his players. There's Livramento for Southampton. Trying to make room for the cross. Stuart Dallas is helped. By Harrison, and the throw-in goes the way of Leeds United.
I think the good thing for Jesse Marsh coming in, although there's definitely a change in the setup in terms of he's not changed the personnel too much, and it's still high energy in the way that they play. So the injuries have got to be tweaked, but it's not like it's a completely different style of play that the players have got to get used to. Yes, it's not man for man, but apart from that, it's quite similar.
Romeo stepping in for Southampton. Here's Adams. Now Ward-Prowse. Now Walker-Peters demanding the ball on this side of the pitch, and he picks up the baton. No foul by Luke Ayling, despite the protest of Hasenhüttl down below us. And Leeds are moving up the gears with Rodrigo.
Come on, Leeds, come on. It's a penalty. That looked like a penalty to me.
Absolutely fantastic tackle. It's a good run by James as well on the back shoulder, and I think he's just going to try. That
was a bit of a penalty on Dan James, that then.
Fantastic tackle, that is absolutely brilliant.
Right tackle from him.
But gets the ball fully.
And he's made a couple of mistakes of late. He's had a little bit of a dip in form, according to his manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's admitted that, but that was a big challenge to make. Harrison and Dallas are standing over this for Leeds United. Harrison with the delivery and the...
Oh, fucking hell!
Came crashing in.
Fucking that were close from the Llorente off at the corner.
Great corner, the way it's whipped in swinging, so he's not got to get any of the power on it, he's just got to direct it goalwards, and yeah, he just comes off the side of his head rather than getting a full contact, and you imagine if that's on target, it's a goal for Leeds.
The first big couple of chances of this contest, one to Dan James, the other to Llorente. And Southampton are still on level terms.
I think that's something that Leeds will be focused on, getting the ball in wide areas and getting crosses in, because Southampton have conceded 12 this season from headed goals. It's a Premier League high, so they know that's an area that they can exploit, Leeds.
Ayling. First flick. James is waiting in the middle, as is Rodrigo. It's stuck to Adam Forshaw. Now Ayling. It's a bright start by Leeds. Southampton looking for a bit of a breather here. Broja. And they're swarming around him.
Your legs are all over him here. He pulled me back. He's at clown though.
Has played the advantage. Here's Rodrigo. Dallas is on the outside.
Oh, look at this.
Having to react and does. And then he slips over. Harrison. There's James looking to spin.
Oh, they started fast here, Leeds. Come out, traps quick.
Harrison is in for Leeds United. Rodrigo. James. It's got to Luke Ayling.
Oh, clinched it forth, for fuck's sake.
There's a fantastic passage of play from Leeds and they've done everything except put the ball in the back of the net. But what I like about it is they keep the pressure on. There's times when the ball come back out and we've seen Leeds at times panic and maybe just rush it, but so composed every time, trying to get the ball back in the net. The only thing I would say is Daniel James got to have a bit of a better touch there. If he opens his body up, he then stays on the ground and he can slot it, but again it bounces up and he passes it on, he does well and then click. In the end it's trying to be a cultured finish, but it just goes past the post. It's a fantastic start for the
Well, we also saw just why Jesse Marsh likes the 4-treble-2 system. Between overload to the middle of the pitch to swarm around opponents, and that is how Leeds managed to win that ball back from Roger and put the pressure on Southampton.
I think you can see the work that he's done in the international break, because when I've watched Leeds when Jesse Marsh come in, particularly against Villa, when they got the ball, they all streamed forward and you could tell they wanted to get forward, but it was almost with no purpose, all in straight lines, where I see it's more dynamic going forward. Everyone's on a different line, so there's always an opportunity, there's always a pass for the player on the ball, and he's definitely worked on that in the international break.
Llorente, he's being hunted down by Brozier. Southampton like to swarm around the opposition too. Two managers from the Red Bulls table going up against each other here. That time it was a foul on Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah, he does well, Walker-Peters. He just gets his body in the way, draws the foul, and it'll give Southampton an opportunity just to catch their breath and just change the momentum of the game, because it's been all Leeds at the moment and they just need to manage the game.
You can just see there as well, Kyle Walker-Peters has indicated that's the second time of being fouled to referee Anthony Taylor, but he didn't agree with the first one, which set Leeds away. There's Livramento looking to shovel away from Dallas. Allier will get to it. There's Cooper. A lot has happened at this football club since his last game in December.
Oh, Cooper didn't score. Fucking internet. It's running back today.
Click. Ward-Prowse in the way. Walker-Peters carries the ball out of play.
There's a lot happened, as you say, since Liam Cooper's been out, but Jesse Marsh and the players and the fans will be so happy to have him back. He will just add that calmness into the back four. Because Llorente at times, I think he can be a bit erratic in terms of the way that he plays out. In the diagonal ball, but
I'll go. Fuck yourself.
sometimes when you just want your defender to defend first, he doesn't. So Liam Cooper just gives that bit of solidity to let Llorente then go and do his thing.
Jack Harrison looking to do his thing here. Rafinha with the offer, and it's straight into the palms of Forster.
It's a good run from Harrison, nice and powerful. And then the third man run is also really nice, but for me, he's going for goal. He just needs to try and pull that ball back.
Llorente. Shaw sliding in, not making contact. There's Walker-Peters. Walker Peters again. Being hunted down by Harrison. Sarasu made that timely intervention from a Southampton perspective on James right at the start of this game. James can't move for that, he would have been offside. Now Brozier. Cooper rising with Shea Adams. Brozier again.
I know, I'm just hoping that they just don't slack. You know, Southampton are coming on now, aren't they? You know, it's like that, give it all fun, but don't get a goal, they come back with a bit of a fucking thingy play and get one.
There's James Ward-Prowse. And Southampton look to have steadied themselves now.
Yeah, steadied the ship. I just think when they're on the ball now, they just need to keep this.
Don't help with fucking it as well, they're running back a bag of shit.
Themselves calm and make sure they string a few passes together just to get themselves into the game.
And Shell's at the slip, but he had the presence of mind to lay it back. And then Yanusi couldn't find a way past Melia.
Yeah.
Tony.
Really well. Get down the outside. It's a nice ball in the box. And when I was talking earlier about players on different lines, Shea Adam there, he had the player behind him.
Looks to link up with Brozier that time, as Southampton look to threaten. Southampton's target this season is to finish in the top 10 and enjoy a cup run as well, playing in an attractive manner. To start the day here 11th. They got to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup and they can play with a spring in their step. But they're coming into this on the back of 3 successive defeats.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that, and if we're including the FA Cup defeat as well, that's 4. So, you know, they're going to want to better what they did last season, not just in terms of being 15th, but beating that points tally as well, because sometimes, in terms of where they are in the table, is not always reflected because of what everyone else does around them. But that they've got with these 3 Premier League games, and they're probably on course to do that and at least better what they did last season.
Football, you just watch it. Not any difference, is it?
Shea Adams moving away from Click. There's Romeu striding at the heart of Leeds United, and Cooper slides in. That's Ayling. Now Harrison. There's Rodrigo. Runners to his right, including James. James picks up the baton. It's down James, and a big right arm keeps that ball out as Fraser Forster got down sharply.
He does the right thing there, James. He shoots across the box. It'd be quite interesting to see, actually. I thought he might have slightly ran offside. And we won't know with VAR because it's not gone in the back of the net, but I think he does the right thing, shoots across the box, and Rafinha was also there just in case it dropped to him.
Romeu. There's El Yanusi. Now Jack Harrison. Incidentally, Mike Dean is at the controls of VAR today. Just in case you're wondering. That's Romeu. Now James.
Ah, for fuck's sake, James.
Around him, but Leeds again looking to open the door here. No foul on Brozier. Matthias Click.
Fuck's sake. Damn James, man, how many goals has he had?
Such a shame, because it's a great run for Ayling off the back shoulder, but Click just can't thread the eye of the needle with that ball.
Ayling again. There's Forshaw. Now Click. Show faith in those two that Jesse Marsh didn't elect to select Calvin Phillips from the start today. He did say he was just slightly behind Liam Cooper in terms of recovery anyway, like Liam Cooper suffered a hamstring injury in December. James giving chase to this.
Yeah, I think going back to Phillips as well, they will have seen what happened to Bamford bringing him back early, and obviously it didn't pay off, so I think they'll probably be even more cautious now with Calvin Phillips than they might have been previously.
That's a chance for James. He did look slightly offside.
Women on commentary. Fuck me, is he boxing?
Yeah, as I say, does well, shoots across the box. We know that Rafinha is there. Could he have laid it to him? Yes, probably, but you know, in that moment, as a centre forward, I think you've got to take that shot on. I really like this from Eloise as well, the way that he just nudges it past, and then he soon gets his head up, whips the ball in the box. And yeah, as I say, I like it because Elanusi is on the line behind Shadams. He's not to the side of him, because if he is, the opportunity passing by. But it's really good by Adams as well. The fact that he's got that thought to lay it back when he's slipping.
That's loose. And gone straight to James. Rafinha is to his right. James. And Southampton again swarmed around him. He just delayed the pass, and Rafinha turns away in frustration.
Yeah, and rightly so. If that's
greedy bastard there, Dan James. He had Rafinha there in the right place to score, and he just a greedy cunt. He seen him.
You see this here. James does well on the turn and play it now. There's 3 opportunities there that he could have played the ball. Runs it off too far, and these are the opportunities where you're on top, and I've seen it with Leeds. They start really well, but they get on
Glitching.
top, but they don't score. They're not clinical enough, so you've got to get your nose in front, get the shots off, and make the right decisions in the final third, and at the minute they're just not quite doing that.
Yeah, some early moments for Leeds United so far. Dallas hitting the deck.
James there. Why didn't James pass that ball to Rafinha?
Continues his record of starting every single Premier League game since Leeds promotion. Was playing for Northern Ireland in the week as well. Was actually in the breather for a little bit at Windsor Park. Came on as a sub on Tuesday in the defeat against Hungary. He's not used to time off. Is looking for an option. Rodrigo tries to provide one, as does Rafinha, and Salisu will step across his path.
It's a shame from Leeds, and it's a really good opportunity in the final third, and I think now you just see the sort of tempo of the game is slightly changing. The way that Leeds play, you can only sort of play in moments of the game with that tempo for so long, and this is where now Southampton, they'll try and manage the moment, try and slow the game down just to try and get themselves back into it.
Rocha winning that aerial duel.
Mine just now fucking glitching.
And it's fouled.
Wolves are beating
the game with that tempo for so long, and this is where now Southampton, they'll try and manage the moment, try and slow the game down just to try and get themselves back into it.
Rocha winning that aerial duel.
Liverpool 1-0.
Adams, he was helped out by Ilan Meslier, who was right on his toes.
It's fantastic from Meslier there. That's what you want from your keeper if something does go wrong. He was ready on his front foot to clear it up.
Wolves are being Aston Villa.
Llorente. No way through. Elanusi. Cooper should deal with this. Those being
Bristol City up on the
was poised for those whistles, playing the advantage as Forshaw.
Fulham are beating QPR.
Finds Rodrigo. His first thought is to try and set Rafinha away.
It's the right idea, it's just the execution on the ball, and I think Rodrigo as well, he just sets his run off slightly early. If he can just hold his run, he can bring the ball along with him.
Rafinha.
Sammy.
Salisu back to Fraser Forster.
Outside of the cover, let's ram it down. Let's see if he stops this from fucking glitching. because it always does this near when Bill's ready to be due.
Salisu again, straight up.
Well, that looks like that. Terminator, not Terminator, Predator when it comes out rolling fingers in that film.
I think he looks like the end of that book.
Another play to Jesse Marsh, who quickly wants to get on with things.
Ala Arteta.
Well, the adrenaline was coursing through Jesse Marsh's veins in the away dressing room at Molineux after what happened 2 weeks ago. He said, "You can have the day off tomorrow, those players that aren't going on international duty." He immediately regretted it. He wants to do plenty of work with them.
Reflection of pipe cups. I'll get giddy then. Come on,
another really good ball. Salisu gets to that, but it just looked like for a moment that Rafinha was just going to take that down on the chest if Salisu didn't get to it and get an opportunity. But again, it's Leeds going forward with all the impetus.
And we're seeing Llorente.
The beer glasses, or whatever you want to put in them.
Just inside the box. Swung in towards that near post, it strikes the outside of the post. And then tackle.
Oh, he just go. Oh, fucking disallowed it to push. Fuck you.
Yeah, it looks like it's Rodrigo with the push there, and it really does.
Fucking disallowed it for a push.
In terms of the corner, I thought initially it was a poor corner, but I think it was meant to be short like that in terms of, you see the way that Click runs out there just to open
that wasn't a push.
Space. And again, Leeds react the better, but it's just that far from
Rodrigo.
Unfortunately for them.
Look at this. How was that a push?
Before Harrison put the ball into the back of the net, has been checked by VAR, check complete.
VAR checked it. Mike Dean's on VAR, what do you expect?
They are testing Southampton from those set pieces. Hailing. There's Salisu. Now Llorente. Life does feel a whole lot different at Ellen Road now for those back-to-back wins over Norwich and Wolves. Very dark mood here after the defeat by Aston Villa. And the worry lines were deepening, but Leeds United have given themselves plenty of hope and breathing space.
Yeah, and I was actually there for their game against Villa, and it wasn't just the result, but the way that they played in terms of defensively. They look really poor. They look back to sort of the era where they were shipping goals again. And as I say, in terms of their movement dynamically forward, they were committing numbers forward, but with no purpose. So yeah, there's definitely been a change with Jesse Marsh, and it's back to sort of the era where they were shipping goals again. And as I say, in terms of their movement dynamically going forward, they were committing numbers forward, but with no purpose. So yeah, there's definitely been a change with Jesse Marsh and the team, and they'll be hoping to build on that.
Always like to see Calvin Phillips with a smile on his face. It's never too far away from his face as he warms up on the bench for Leeds United today. Southampton hoping to wipe that smile off his face here. And this is Walker Peters.
Look at it as well, I can see him conducting on the side, speaking to his teammates. So
I hope he don't come on them camel boats.
There's Broja. paying tribute to two fans, Chris and Kevin,
22 years ago.
who lost their lives in Istanbul.
Man City are 2-0 up
Forward by Elliott.
Burnley.
That's Rafinha. Now Forster.
Kevin De Bruyne with first win. Raheem Sterling.
Diallo stepping in for Southampton as they look to spring something on the counter-attack. Ailing. James with a touch. Here's Rafinha. Now it's...
For fuck's sake, fuck off internet, like fucking slow it down every time it builds, Joe. It's not due till the 5th of April.
Ailing.
2 days.
James with a touch. Here's Rafinha. Now it's with the block. And Romeu steps in.
What's interesting about Leeds on these attacks is, you know, every time the ball does come out, in terms of, look, they'll take a shot, it gets deflected, but then they're always there for the second and third ball. They always just seem to be first, and Southampton just seem to be half a yard behind at the moment.
A chance for Southampton to try and conjure up something here. El Yunusi finds Broja, who moves away from Harrison. Shea Adams steps inside. It's Shea Adams, it takes a deflection and flies behind for a corner.
Close there. See what I mean? You do all that fucking work in football and then they try for a lucky shot and nearly went in off at keeper or somebody.
From Danny Ings, who left in the summer. And yeah, he leads the line very, very well. He's strong, he's quick, but he's also got that technical ability as well.
That's why Leeds made 3 bids for him in 2020 and Southampton kept turning him down.
Oh.
Plenty of lift on that corner, away by Harrison.
Try this one. In a pain at the bottom. Forever and ever, we'll follow our team. We're Leeds United, we rule supreme. We'll never be mastered by you Southampton bastard. We'll keep the white flag flying, eh? And Leeds have scored as well, 1-0. One 0 to Leeds. Oh, don't fuck about.
Browse tiptoeing forward, then Broja turns it back, and an important touch from Llorente as Southampton close in on the Leeds United goal.
And I would say that's Southampton's best chance so far.
Just said that, just said it. Yeah, my internet's fucking up. Should get a goal here.
Walker-Peters. Cooper with the intervention. Ailing was caught on his heels by Shea Adams.
Because I'm just had to restart, haven't I?
Plenty to hit in the middle. Livramento's cross is right on top of Bellier. And a really good position comes for nothing.
Yeah, I think he could do more with that. The cross is early. I think he can do a little bit more. And in terms of the quality of the cross as well. But it's a good little spell there for Southampton, just going on the attack, getting a shot on goal. But they're just, again,
is it a goal or not?
A bit more composed on the ball for me.
I'll get yourself hooked up. Yeah, it's 1-0, Jack Harrison.
Llorente fired into Rodrigo.
Sounds more like a fucking turkey. Christmas table.
Rodrigo. Dallas has continued his run and James is waiting and Salisu had to take evasive action again.
Not messaging me. Come on, Lee.
Brozier trying to get in behind you, but both go to ground. How does the referee see this? Almost on the floor. Well, he was on the floor as he attempted that header.
Yeah, I think it was 6 of one and half of the other, and I like the way that Anthony Taylor's refereed this so far. He's tried to let the game flow as much as possible.
And there is a good flow to it. Mateus Click now for Leeds. Rafinha away from Walker Peters. He's got the cross. And it's got the in. Jack Harrison arriving on the scene.
Fucking, that took it fucking terrible.
Leeds United can see their chance to hot-footed away from trouble. The door is open and they are walking through it.
And it's been coming. It really has been coming. It'll be interesting. This ball on the line. I think it is on the line. For all of the balls not gone over, but Rodrigo on his right hand side, he does so well.
Needs to find another word.
It's a bit of a
fucking napper in now.
It's alright, BL. So they Thompson 3 times. Bento. And Shea Adams. Diallo. Adams unhappy with himself as that ball went skywards from his boot. Rodrigo. Rafinha looking to try and move up the gears, but Salisu was always starting in a better position.
yeah, and it's asking a lot of Rafinha there from Rodrigo. But again, there's 2 players on that left-hand side, and you just think if you could just hold off the pass, or just make a smaller pass, a 5-yard pass first.
Mateus Click stepping across the pass of Kyle Walker-Peters. The throw-in goes the way of Southampton. Watching on as Salisu stands on the launch pad for Southampton. Away by Rodrigo. There's Bednarek. Can ping the diagonal ball. He was thinking about it. It goes the other way to Salisu. Brozier in a battle with Llorente. Walker-Peters. There's Romeo. Through the gap, Shea Adams. Adams with a chance, Meslier gets to it, and Llorente puts it behind. Some heroic defending from Leeds United after a fabulous stop.
How the fuck did they equalise there? That were close, that.
Lovely piece of play here from Shea Adams. The close control on this is absolutely beautiful. When
How the fuck did they get away with that then?
Just that little check, then drop back in.
Forshaw comes back into play, thinking he's going to put him offside.
Great shot. He's a young keeper, but it's a very, very good shot stopper, and then the defending following it in, make sure that they're protecting the goal. Brilliant.
Are you fucking panic, though?
Maybe busy again here. The corner was flicked on by Bednarek. Now James Ward-Prowse sends that ball back in. Llorente's in the mix. Meslier watches it over for another corner.
God, now we're talking his panic finger.
Llorente who's down.
Oh, really love initially is the movement from Shea Adams, the way that he drops in to drop back out, and the speed kick that he puts on the floor there. But Mele does really well, makes himself really big. And then the follow-up defending as well, it's
Wolves
so important.
2, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, Stuart Dallas taking the hit.
Burnley are losing 2-0 as well.
Southampton have responded well to falling behind here. The corner driven in low that time. Dealt with by Ailing. Just about recovered.
It was close. Daniel James was bearing down on him, wasn't he?
What, for right over there? Got touch on it.
Luke Ayling takes the hit that time.
I think that's a good bit of experience from Luke Ayling. You can see his face there, the smiles with Hasenhüttl, and yeah, he felt the contact and went down, managing that moment in the game where Southampton have been on the top for a few minutes.
I've commentated on Luke Ayling for many years since his time at Yeovil, and I've seen him do that manoeuvre many times.
They call it experience.
Martin Flair getting giddy because we're top of the league,
Sure.
So somebody commented underneath, what, for about an hour?
Livramento trying to get Southampton up the pitch again here. And Ralph Hasenhüttl will be pleased with the response from his players after falling behind to that Jack Harrison goal.
Yeah, there's got to be a response. They've done well. Obviously, the Shea Adams chance, there was a Brozier chance earlier on as well, and I think they'll be happy with the response. But obviously, in terms of the way that they started the game and how dominant Leeds were for the first 30 or so minutes, you know, we will be disappointed with that.
Maybe regretting now allowing Jesse Marsh to study him.
Leeds were all over him the first 10 minutes. Should have been 2-3-0. They're all over him.
Playing the piano for Jesse Marsh.
That's why I don't like sometimes with Leeds when they start going all out. Because they always fizzling out. They play all that good football and they don't fight back at net. And your opponents just get a lucky break in the score.
El Yunusi. Diallo, no way past Llorente, but again Southampton are asking the questions.
Yeah, putting now a bit of consistent pressure on Leeds, and that's what they've got to do in terms of getting in the right areas and not just throwing balls in terms of just building the play and making sure they're getting something from it, whether it be a good ball in the box or a corner ball as they've got now.
Yeah, I've got it on that much far.
The master of ceremonies at set pieces, James Ward-Prowse is standing over this one. Lifted in towards the far post, and Romeo got his head on it. Ayling. Back in by Romeo. Bednarek is waiting too. It's Walker-Peters, who wasn't far away.
Yes, it's nicely worked here. I think they meant that in terms of Romeo coming off at the back. You can tell it was directed straight at him, and then just keeping the ball in the box, trying to cause a little bit of chaos there, and then Walker-Peters, he does well. That's really not far away, and he hits it nicely. He's got, you know, you can see there 4 Leeds players bearing down on him. He just can't quite keep it down enough, but it wasn't far.
Cooper, El Yunusi, there's Shea Adams, Diallo. Away by Forshaw. It's coming back though at Leeds. Bednarek. There's Walker-Peters.
Ayling does well there, but you can see the way that Southampton build differently, although similar. In terms of the way that they play, they go wider first to get the ball back in the box, whereas Leeds, you see, as soon as they get the ball, they want to stream players forward centrally.
Yeah, both pretty much disciples of that 4-2-2 system we were talking about. It can be a narrow system, it allows the overload in the central areas, as we mentioned. Needs 2 strikers as well, certainly the way Leeds are playing. Occupy the 2 centre-backs, so they don't want to step out and engage with the 2 number 10s, if you like.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the way that they're playing. And it's interesting to see how it's 2 similar models, but you know, when 2 different managers are looking at it, and then also the personnel, the way that...
He must have thought it was Tom Cruise from Top Gun. So we're alright, we're fucking working, now just arsing about.
Relatively painless trip. They play football.
It's interesting to see how it's two similar models, but you know, when two different managers are looking at it, and also the personnel, that the way that football, you know, that it can change just a slight tweaks here and there, but the complete differences that you see in both of these sides.
That's the lively Shea Adams involved again. Southampton have been the better team since Leeds struck. Click. Now Rodrigo. Rafinha to his right. There is Rafinha. Rafinha's ball looking to pick out James, and another promising position for Leeds United comes to nothing.
I'm wondering there if Rodrigo can keep travelling with it. I think, you know, can he keep going? Rafinha's so wide there as well. I maybe want him to come a little bit more central as well. I think if Rodrigo just keeps that ball for a few more steps, it then just gives James and I think it's Harrison as well, just a better chance to get up with them. He just releases it slightly too early.
Liam Cooper. Ward-Prowse. Diallo. Walker-Peters, lovely ball back into the path of Diallo. Who asked the question? Crozier was lurking, likewise Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper doing well there in terms of in the right place at the right time, and this is where I think Leeds are better defensively in terms of, you know, under Bielsa we know it's the man for man, whereas now, especially with Liam Cooper, rather than being pulled out by the runs from Southampton, so they're just keeping their defensive shape better.
Yeah, we saw countless times Leeds players getting dragged all over the pitch under Marcelo Bielsa's man-marking system. Ward-Prowse with that delivery. Melier with a hand on it, that's Bednarek. No messing about from Rodrigo.
I think we still saw it as well. I think it was the first goal against Aston Villa. Luke Ayling, he charges out trying to get the ball from the player where he was playing centre half that game as well, and you know, for me, he probably just needed to hold his run.
We kick away at Leeds. Llorente's down. Dallas is down as well inside the box.
That's not a scene that Jesse Marsh wants to see.
Well, Stuart Dallas, we know, plays through pain all the time for Leeds United and for his country as well. He's back on his feet, and Llorente gets back to his feet.
I think you have to, as an elite sports person, as a footballer. I don't think there's, you know, many times where you play in a game where you feel 100% well. But you know, it's just got to be on the right level, because we see it obviously with Patrick Bamford before, where he just couldn't get through the game, he was too injured. So you know, you've got to know your body as well.
Llorente and Brozier go to ground. Quickly, how difficult is it when you are playing this system, the man-to-man that we mentioned under Marcelo Bielsa, and then suddenly you have to get out of it and maybe get out of those old habits?
I literally think you just saw him go on automatic. He went on autopilot in that game. I think playing at centre half, he went to charge out to get the play. Where in that position, especially playing at centre half, I think you just need to hold your space, and you only engage with it at the last minute when you have to. And what happened is, because he came out, it opened up the space in the middle of the box, and it led to a goal. But yeah, as a player, it's hard, because you know, you spend so long on the training pitch, and what Jesse Marshall want now is for his philosophy to be automatic. So you want to do it on that automatic, whereas you know, when you learn a new style of play or a new way of playing, you almost, you know, sometimes you can see the cogs going in the head.
Romeo waiting at the near post as Salassu's throw-in didn't quite have the distance that time. one for Luke. To take. He was flat out and then jumped back to his feet.
He found the funny side.
He's loving life right now, Luke Ayling. James.
I love the interview that Luke Ayling did this week as well about his stutter. I thought it was really nice for him to come out and talk about that, and you know, seeing that personal side of football as well, I think is always really nice to see.
El Yunusi, Billy Van Ball against Llorente, which is being checked.
I think that'll be very, very harsh if it's given, in terms of it's not in an unnatural position. I don't think his arm, although it does touch his arm, I don't know how much he's gesturing his arm towards the ball.
Yeah, the check is complete. So it will be a throw-in for Southampton and nothing more. Into 1 additional minute as Cooper heads that ball away. Ball Prowse, who's just slightly on his heels.
Don't get that. Ramadan. Oh. Or is it Ramadan? That's what it meant to be. Ramadan. It's supposed to be Ramadan.
Rovers and Bradford, and oh my word from Michael Dawson, what happened to the right hand side, and you think, where's down, you're going into half time. Trincao picks the ball up 1v1 against Mike Cash, plays the ball to Fabio Silva, does a great dummy, it goes into Podence. Wrong person's going to have a shot for Dent, but it's a great ball to Dendoncker. Left foot corner 6-yard box. You're going, go on, hit your target, it'll be a great counter-attack. Puts it wide. Wrong person shooting. Still 2-0, and it's going to be half-time any second now. Middlesbrough 0, Middlesbrough 1, East 5-0. Everyone at Crington have equalised before half-time against Cheltenham. In fairness, it looks as if those two sides are both going to be safe. Tommy Lee is the man who's got the equalising goal for the home side there. Hibs 1, Dundee United 1. Harry Clark late in the first half. Let's just hear how that happened. Luke Shanley.
Yeah, Camden's cross to the back post. Clark got it on his weaker left foot. You wouldn't know it with the finish. Past Siegrist for a goal in his debut. 1-1.
Falkirk 0, Montrose 1 as a half-time score. Wycombe Wanderers lead by a goal to 0 at half-time against Doncaster Rovers. Gareth McCleary is the man who got the goal that put them in front. Doncaster Rovers are 4 points off safe, but effectively 5 because of their goal difference. They've not scored in the last 4 games either. Barnes lead Reading by a goal to 0 at half-time. If it stays that way, Carlton Morris with his 9th goal of the season, 3 in 4. That would reduce the deficit between Barnsley in the relegation places and Reading out of them to just 2 points. Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1 up in Scotland, and Aberdeen have not won in the last, well, they've had 10 away defeats, but they lead this time round. Lincoln lead at Charlton, Dover lead Kings Lynn, Stoke and Sheffield United's goalless. Another big shout from Michael Dawson. What's happened now, Dawson?
He's come down the left. Fabio Silva does brilliant. I said you won't be coming again. It was nearly full time, half time. Aston Villa playing like it's full time. They're putting everyone forward. You're only 2-0 down with half time. The manager gets you in. They do it. It's ridiculous what I'm seeing. Silva goes down the left, pulls it back. You think Trincao, just leave it. He's going to come to then Donker about 18 yards out. He does. He takes a touch and it comes to nothing. But Aston Villa have just gone to pop. They've had periods in this first half, Where 5 minutes have just lost everything. Team shape. Stephen Gerrard's sat there. He looks absolutely fuming. It's going to be 2-0 at half-time.
You wouldn't want to be a Villa player going into that dressing room at half-time. Hartlepool 0, Salford 2. Salford looking for an 11th game without defeat, and they are halfway there. Looking for a 4th straight win as well. Clyde 0, Peterhead 1. Crewe have equalised against Fleetwood. Chris Long has got that goal against one of his former clubs. This is his 8th goal of the season. The Fleetwood side just 1 point outside the relegation places. Solihull Wolves 2, Maidenhead 0 is a half-time score as well. Andrew Dallas with both of those goals. Wolves 2, Villa 0. Wolves looking for a big win. It would be a big win over Aston Villa. It would be a double as well. Forest Green 0, Scunthorpe 0. Forest Green stuttering along at the top of League 2. In truth, at the moment they're 4 points clear. They've won 1 of the last 8 and being held by Scunthorpe, well, rock bottom, looks certain to be relegated. Morecambe have got a 2nd goal against Burton Albion. Adam Phillips with his 7th goal of the season. Burton are down to 10 men. Shaughnessy sent off for them. Mansfield 1, Northampton Town 0 at half-time in League 2 as they look for an 11th straight win. I mentioned that Crewe equalising goal in a big game down at the bottom of League 1. Let's go and hear about the equaliser now. Roger Hughes.
Well, the
I don't know about goal Leeds go.
Here, but maybe
LEAFS. Goal Leeds go. Shitty ice hockey. But
from outside the area.
Goal Leeds go.
First goal in 3.5 games. It came in stoppage time at the end of the first half, and at half time it's Crewe 1, Fleetwood 1.
And at half-time at the Shades, Halifax 0, Wealdstone 0, Morecambe 2, Burton 0 in League 1 and in League 2. Colchester have come from behind. They lead at Harrogate by 2 goals to 1. We're back in just 40 seconds. You can count them.
Go, Leeds, go.
Clearing the path for the action. Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette Labs.
Better value lives at Dunnes Stores with big savings this Easter. Treat someone to a large Easter egg from Cadbury, Galaxy or Maltesers. Now an incredible half price at just €3 each. And pick up some Pringles, also half price at €1.49 each. Or mix and match from selected 2-litre soft drinks, any 3 for €5. Plus, with our 10 off 50 grocery voucher, you save even more. Which means every trip to Dunnes Stores means better value. Dunnes Stores, always better value.
Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette Labs.
Just to collect on all the half-time, I should tell you the other FA Trophy semi-final taking place today. Bromley against York had to be delayed by 15 minutes. Get all the crowd in at Hayes Lane. That's a really good sign. Most of them don't enjoy what they've seen, but the National League North side, York City, lead by a 1-0, an early goal from Willoughby for the visitors there. Okay, half-times and significant full-times then, starting with the Premier League. This is how things look. Brighton 0, Norwich 0. Probably the most predictable score of the day. Brighton just 10 home goals, Norwich 8 away goals. But Brighton have missed a glorious chance. Neil Maupay with a penalty. He's missed 3 of his 8 penalties, last 8 penalties. And consequently, he is still 0-0 at half-time. Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. City knocked off the top of the table by Liverpool, but Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan means that they're going to go back to the top almost certainly. They're unbeaten in 14 away Premier League games. Burnley are facing a 4th straight defeat, and they've not scored in any of the previous 3. Chelsea 0, Brentford 0. Brentford really good account of themselves against their visitors from just 7 miles down the road. They dominated the early stages, but Chelsea come back into it strongly recently. They're unbeaten in 17 home games at Chelsea, but if you look at their Premier League record, 3 wins in the last 8 home Premier League games. Leeds lead Southampton by a goal, so Jack Harrison with his 8th of the season. Southampton have looked like a stonewall penalty turned down in the first half. It's been a wide open game, but at the moment Southampton facing a 5th consecutive defeat. Liverpool beat Southampton by 2-0. Jota with the opening goal for 22 minutes. He's got 3 and 20 for the season. It was a hard-fought win though. They had to wait until inside the last 10 minutes before Fabinho's penalty settled the issue. Liverpool 2, Watford 0. And Wolves lead Villa by 2-0. Johnny has scored in successive games, and then an Ashley Young own goal, a sort of bullet header, if you like, have given Wolves complete control of their. I mentioned that 15 defeats this season for Aston Villa. That's 3 more than Burnley lost. 4 of the last 7, and that inconsistency continues to dog them. In the Championship big game, Barnsley lead Reading by a 1-0. Barnsley are 3rd from bottom, Reading are 4th from bottom Carlton Morris with his 9th of the season. Reading 21 league defeats this season. They have a good record at Oakville, unbeaten in 9 visits, but behind at the interval. Nottingham Forest blew Blackpool away in Truth. Philip Zinkernagel's deflected shot put Forest in front, then 2 from Brennan Johnson, another from Sammy Surrey's put them 4 to the good. Before Connolly got a consolation goal late on for Blackpool. Bristol City took the lead through Rob Atkinson, his first Bristol City goal at Vitality Stadium, but Bournemouth hit back with Dominic Slanky's 25th of the season. Swansea lead the Welsh derby by a goal to Michael Obafemi, his 8th goal of the season. Coventry lead Blackburn by a goal, so it's a Pickering own goal. Remember, Blackburn not scored in the last 7 away games. The club record is 8, and they're on the brink of levelling that. Derby nil, Preston North End nil. Preston have had Liam Lindsay send off, but it is still goalless at half time. Luton 1, Millwall 1 from Bradshaw with his 8th of the season, putting Millwall in from Elijah Adebayo with his 16th, putting Luton back on level terms. Middlesbrough leader Peterborough, Marcus Tavernier is the man who got the goal. They're 2 points off the playoff places at the moment. Peterborough 1 win 16 league games. Fulham lead by a goal to QPR. Alexander Mitrovic, who else, with his 36th of the campaign. And Stoke and Sheffield United is goals at half time.
So, I said, what time he's talking background? I said, he's not talking necessarily in the background. Phil wants to fucking kiss
in League One, Accrington turning it right round against Cheltenham in the dying seconds of the first half. Alfie May had given Cheltenham the lead with his 24th goal of the season, but Lee and Sean McConville have got the goals to give John Coleman's side the advantage. Charlton are a goal down. Morgan Whittaker scored for Lincoln, and they're also a man down because Alex Gilby has been sent off. Fleetwood led through Harvey McAdams' first senior goal, but Chris Long has levelled things up for the bottom club. David Artell's 3. Ipswich and Cambridge complete start. I got the Portman Road today. Ipswich unbeaten in 11 league games and clean sheets in the last 6 home games. Well, they've kept the clean sheet so far, but not able to find a way through against Cambridge themselves. It's 0-0. MK don't sit 3rd in the table. They are 4 points off the automatic promotion places. They lead through Mo Ice's 12th goal of the season, unbeaten in a dozen league games are the MK Dons. Morecambe 2 up against Burton.
What's on my dad's?
Africa now with the opening
goal.
goal.
Alright, yeah? We have what we're doing, so watching football.
12 without
since
a
half
win.
time, Mrs. Leeds Win up. What are you doing? What are you doing? If I what's up with me? What's he talking right now for? Because you're coming to football with me and our Jones a little later. Says we're not talking, but I could hear from behind what we're in. He knows that I'm coming. He's asked me to go for a drink with Joe. And Phil later said, Dan, you're medication. Says at the moment he goes, we're going to have one. Or 2, or maybe about 8 laughing. Because he's just coming in later.
Who hadn't scored in 146 games. Now got 2 in 2, registered the best home record in League One. But Ayo Bassell equalised for Wimbledon in their first goal under Mark Bowen. Sunderland nil, Gillingham. Sunderland got to start winning, haven't they? They are unbeaten in 6, but they've only won 3 of those 6 to be held by Gillingham, who only 8 games in, 8 goals in 12 games. But they've taken 18 points from those 12 games. Doing a great job there. Wigan and Bolton finished 1 apiece. James McLean put Wigan in front with his 10th goal of the season. John Daddy Bud Barson's late equaliser denied Wigan on 3 points and also denied them a chance to go top of the table. And Wickham 1, Doncaster Rovers in Nil McCleary. Tell
her to go, young Sam.
Come on. I ain't got food in there.
In League 2, Barrow still battling for survival.
Yeah,
against Port Vale. They've only got 3 home wins this season, not one of 9 home league games, and just 3 points off the drop. Port Vale are one of 5 teams on 63 points in this division. Bristol Rovers have never lost at home to Bradford in 14 goalless at half-time.
Yeah, get in there.
Those 5 teams on 63. Forest Green, top of the table, 4 points clear against bottom club Scunthorpe United, who are 10 points off 30, effectively 11 with just 7 games remaining. It's 0-0 at half-time.
Yes, tomorrow, birthday girl.
This 50th Colchester goal, and Noah Chilvers have put Colchester in from Salford, lead by 2 goals through Victoria Park in the 6 direct cities. Conor Magaba with the opening goal, Jason Lowe with the 2nd goal, Salford looking for a 4th straight win. 4 points off the playoffs, they're creeping up, they're getting very close to a playoff place. Mansfield lead Northampton by a goal to another side.
Yeah, I've already told you, it's on it going on for 6 hours just after.
8th goal of the season, looks for a club home win. Newport and Exeter is goalless at half-time. Rochdale and Swindon also goalless. Oldham lead by a goal to the Jamie.
Oh, that's got to do for it now.
Senior goal for the Oldham
Clever girl.
Yeah. What he was wondering about when I walked.
Yeah, turn it off when you come back in as well.
It's a place in League Two.
It's living room, one of them when you haven't eaten on for a while. It gets really warm, then as soon as it gets cold, it gets cold.
Cold respect their legs for that.
Season, but McDonald has been sent off in under 10 minutes. And Walsall nil Leyton Orient 2. Harry Smith with his 15th of the campaign. Otis Khan with his first Orient goal against the Club. 23 minutes added at Aldershot. Ethan Ross in that game. That's not too serious, so it does sound that way. They've lost their last 5 at Aldershot. They're losing against Eastleigh as well by a couple of goals to nil. Brennan Camp with 1 goal, the opening goal there. But Alan Barnett with a second just before half-time. Not 2-0. Barnett won, Yeovil took the lead. Tony
no, that's fucking bombing.
8th goal of the season. He's got 3
where we go, he just says up man, so it's like that. Probably on about Chapel Street.
Grimsby, Lawrence McGuire got the goal. Chapel Allen. Without Tishimango, there was. And Grimsby has come back. John McAtee with his 12th goal of the season. And Gavin Holland, little Irishman, well, not a little Irishman. He likes to go for midfield, and he's got one. It's his first Grimsby goal. They're in the playoff places at the moment. They lead by 2 goals to 1. Dover League Kings Lynn by a goal from Kobe Arthur. Got the goal for Kings Lynn. Third from bottom, 7 off 6. Cannot afford to lose games like that. Halifax 1 point off the top 3. Big win by Wheelstone. At the moment, 0-0. Solihull Moors at 2-0 up against Maiden. And Andrew Dallas has got them both. It's 15th and 16th of the season. And Notts County lead at Southend by a goal to 0. Ruben Rodriguez with his 13th goal of the season. Premiership looks like this. It's Dundee nil Aberdeen.
None of his
Ramsey's got the goal for Aberdeen. Last time.
Why is everybody paying higher about
Hibs level against Dundee United. Ross Graham got the goal for Dundee United. Hibs Motherwell leads by 3 goals to 2 in a seesaw. The first half, Sean Goss, Connor Shields and Dean Cornelius, the goal scorers for the home side there. Brody McCarthy for Escape Mariners lost 5 of their last 6. Ross County level against Hearts. Alex Iacovici with the goal for the home side. Barry Mackay equalising for Hearts and St Johnstone lead Livingston. Callum Hendry with his 12th goal of the season. There's one game in the Scottish Championship. Partick Thistle and Arbroath is goalless. Partick Thistle
go put that on that black charger for me.
They're 5 points behind Kilmarnock with 1 game in hand. This is sort of a must-win game for them, isn't it? They've not scored in the last 3 away games. They've not scored today either so far. It's 0-0 at half-time.